You know, every now and then, a book series lands that does more than just tell you a story. It actually challenges the way you see everything. Today, we're diving into this groundbreaking trilogy by Andrew Gard. Reviewers are absolutely buzzing about it, and we're here to tell you why it's being called the must-read experience for our time. And honestly, it all kicks off with one terrifying question.
Right from page one, the trilogy just grabs you by the throat with this question. I mean, really think about it. You wake up, you check your phone, and where your entire life savings used to be, there's just nothing. It's not that it was stolen or hacked. The very concept is just gone. It is an absolutely electrifying way to kick things off, and it sets the stakes impossibly high. But this is where the genius of the premise really clicks into place. The author makes it crystal clear. Nothing physical has actually disappeared. The farms are still there, the power grids are humming, the hospitals are running. All the stuff is still there. We've just confused the symbol, money, for the actual substance. And this just brilliantly shows you the central idea. Money is just an interface, an operating system we built, and maybe, just maybe, it's obsolete.
Okay, so if the problem isn't a lack of food or power, what is it? Well, this is where the trilogy shifts from a cool what if into a deep, chilling psychological thriller. The real enemy here isn't something you can fight with your fists. It's the broken software running inside the human heart. That primal, evolutionary fear that's always whispering, hoard more, take more, even when you're standing in a world of plenty.
And what's so masterful is how the author weaves these poetic verses throughout the whole story. It's not just for flair. It creates this incredibly haunting atmosphere. It just perfectly highlights the ridiculous paradox of a world where all this abundance is locked away behind a digital ledger. Honestly, it's moments like this that lift the story from just being a clever idea into something truly profound. And this, right here, this is the absolute heart of the conflict. On one side, you have physical reality. We have the technology to feed, house, and power the entire planet. No problem. But on the other side, you have our internal reality. This deep-seated psychological scarcity that keeps us trapped in a cage of our own making. This struggle is what makes the entire trilogy so unbelievably compelling.
So how do you fight an enemy you can't even see? Well, the books propose a solution that is so simple it's almost shocking, but it's powerful enough to rebuild society from scratch. It's a binary framework for every single human action. They call it the 1 or 0 choice.
Think of it like this. Every single decision you make is either a 1 or a 0. You share your food instead of hoarding it? That's a 1. A conscious choice to act with trust, to do something for the collective good. But that old software, that fear, is always there, pushing you to act out of ego or pride. That's a 0. And in this new world, that simple binary choice becomes the only currency that matters. Period.
Now this is what reviewers are calling an absolute masterstroke. The book doesn't just tell you about this concept, it hands you the tool. It's called the psychological audit, and it's a simple 3-step process that suddenly makes you start looking at your own impulses. It really feels less like you're reading a story and more like you're taking on a personal challenge yourself. Of course, making the right choice isn't easy, right? That's why the whole framework is powered by what the author calls the moral engine. You can think of it as the necessary software upgrade for humanity, an internal system that you have to build and maintain so that trust can finally overpower that primal fear. And this whole idea of personal transformation is perfectly mirrored in the structure of the trilogy.
Look, this isn't just one story followed by a couple of sequels. It's a complete, meticulously planned journey. And reviewers are all saying the same thing. The way these 3 books build on each other is just so incredibly satisfying. It's a true trilogy, not just a series that keeps going.
And you can see the whole progression right here. Book 1, The Ordering Principle, is all about discovery. It's about finding the fundamental source code for a better world. Then Book 2, The Blueprint System. That's the architectural phase, designing the society based on that code. And finally, Book 3, Beyond Then, is the transformation, learning to actually live in this wild new reality. It's a perfect narrative arc.
And that really is the key takeaway here. You're not left hanging. From the very first page of the first book to the very last page of the third, you are taken on this complete intellectual and emotional journey. It's the kind of world building that feels real, earned, and it's just unforgettable.
So, with all these huge, groundbreaking ideas, why is pretty much everyone calling this the essential read for right now? It's because it doesn't just flirt with the biggest questions of our time, it tackles them head on.
It's ambitious, it's challenging, and it feels intensely, urgently relevant.
And that, I think, brings us to the real heart of why this series hits so hard. This is not passive entertainment. One reviewer just nailed it, calling it a workbook for the soul. It forces you to turn the lens inward, to run that psychological audit on yourself, and to ask, what choices am I making every single day?
And in the end, after all the conflict, all the struggle, the trilogy leaves you with this profound feeling of earned hope. This verse here just captures that feeling perfectly. The world after the change, where humanity has finally learned that our real strength was never in our bank accounts, but in each other. It's a powerful and genuinely inspiring vision of what we could be.
So the series ends by turning its biggest question right back on you. The blueprint for a better world isn't just in a book. It's a choice that we all face. The whole journey starts with Book 1, The Ordering Principle. And the question it leaves you wrestling with is one you are not going to forget. 1 or 0?